Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Simple English Talks. I'm so happy you're here with us today.
Hey there! It's so great to see you all again. How are you doing? I hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are in the world.
I was thinking this morning, I remember when I first started learning English, I'd open my mouth to say something and then nothing, just silence, like my brain just froze completely.
Oh, I totally know that feeling. And honestly, that's exactly what we're talking about today. Today's topic is, why do you get stuck while speaking English?
Yes, and this is so important because so many of you have told us in the comments that this is your biggest problem. You study hard, you know a lot of words, but when it's time to speak, you freeze.
So, by the end of this episode, you're going to understand exactly why that happens. And more importantly, you're going to have real practical tools to help you keep talking, even when it feels difficult.
We want to hear from you right now. Write in the comments, does this happen to you? Do you get stuck when you try to speak English? Tell us when it happens most, at work, with friends, in class.
We read every single comment, so please share your experience. And before we jump in, if you haven't subscribed to Simple English Talks yet, please do it right now. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. We post new content every week to help your English grow.
Okay, so let's get into it. Why does this happen? Why do so many English learners, even advanced ones, suddenly go blank when they try to speak?
There are real reasons for this, and once you understand them, you'll feel so much better. Let's start with the most important one.
Okay, so the first big reason you get stuck while speaking is this. You're translating in your head. You think of what you want to say in your native language first, and then you try to translate it into English. And that process is slow, really slow.
Yes, so the formula here is simple. Native language thought, then translation, then English words. And by the time you get to the English words, the conversation has already moved on.
Exactly. For example, imagine someone asks you, what did you do last weekend? In your head, you think the answer in your own language first. Then you try to find the English words. Then you try to put them in the right order. And then the other person is already talking about something else.
So here are some real examples of how this slowing down sounds. You say, I went to, the place where you buy food, when you actually just mean, I went to the supermarket. You know the concept, but the English word didn't come fast enough.
Or someone asks, how was your weekend? And you want to say it was relaxing, but you can't remember the word relaxing quickly enough, so you just say, good, and stop there. Sound familiar?
It sounds very familiar. And listeners, does this happen to you? Write in the comments. Do you translate in your head before you speak? Tell us what language you think in first.
So how do we fix this? Well, the first step is just becoming aware of it. When you notice yourself translating, stop. Take a breath. Try to describe what you mean using simpler English words instead of searching for the perfect translation.
That's such a good tip. Use simpler words. Instead of searching for supermarket, you can say the big food store. It's not perfect, but it keeps the conversation going. And that's the goal. Keep talking.
And here's something really important. You don't have to say things perfectly. Native speakers don't speak perfectly either. They pause, they repeat themselves, they change direction in the middle of a sentence. That's totally normal.
The negative form of this mistake is when you say nothing at all because you're afraid it won't sound perfect. Can you say something imperfect and keep the conversation going? Yes, you absolutely can.
Practice this right now. Think of something you did yesterday. Don't translate. Just describe it in simple English, even 2 or 3 words. I cooked food, I watched TV, I talked to my friend. Simple is totally fine.
Great work! So the key takeaway from this section, stop translating, start describing. Use the simple English words you already know. That's how you keep talking.
Now let's talk about the second big reason people get stuck. And honestly, this is the one that affects learners the most. It's fear. Fear of making mistakes, fear of sounding stupid, fear of people laughing at you.
Oh, this one is so real. I remember being in a meeting once and I knew the answer to a question, but I stayed quiet because I wasn't sure if I was going to say it correctly. And then someone else said basically the same thing and they got the credit.
That's happened to so many people, and the fear is completely understandable. Nobody wants to feel embarrassed. But here's the thing, staying silent is actually worse for your English progress than making a mistake.
Exactly. So let me give you some real life examples.
informal situation. You're at a casual lunch with coworkers. Someone asks for your opinion. You could say, I think is good idea. Is that grammatically perfect? No. But did everyone understand you? Yes!
Formal situation. You're in a job interview. You want to say, I have experience in project management, but you're not sure about the grammar. You could say, I have worked in projects before. Again, not perfect, but the meaning is clear.
The point is, in both situations, communication happened, and that's what language is for. Communication, not perfection.
Okay, here's a quick practice activity. Think of a time you stayed quiet because you were afraid to speak English. What were you going to say? Now, say it out loud, right now, even if you're alone. Say it. It doesn't have to be perfect.
First tip for managing this fear, remember that most people are not judging your grammar. They're listening to your message. Second tip, make mistakes on purpose sometimes. It takes away the fear. Third tip, practice in low-pressure situations first, like talking to yourself or writing in the comments here on Simple English Talks.
Write your imperfect sentence in the comments right now. Seriously, write something in English, even if you're not sure it's correct. We will never laugh at you. We will celebrate you for trying.
Fear of mistakes is the #1 enemy of speaking fluency. The sooner you make friends with imperfection, the faster your English will grow. Remember, every mistake is a lesson, not a failure.
The third reason people get stuck is this: they don't have enough ready language. What do I mean by that? Well, fluent speakers don't think of individual words. They think in chunks, small phrases and expressions they've said so many times that they come out automatically.
Yes. For example, a fluent speaker doesn't think subject, I, verb, would, like, object, coffee. They just say, I'd like a coffee, as one automatic chunk. It comes out without thinking.
But a learner who hasn't practiced enough might think each word separately. I, would, like, coffee, and by the time they thought it all through, the waiter has already walked away.
So here are some everyday chunks that will really help you. That's a good point. I'm not sure, but can you say that again, please? What I mean is, these are phrases that buy you time and keep the conversation flowing.
Let me give you some practical scenarios. You're in a meeting and someone says something you don't understand. Instead of going silent, you say, sorry, could you repeat that? Easy, automatic, no grammar thinking required.
Or someone asks your opinion and you need a second to think. You say, that's interesting. I think... And now you have a few seconds to actually form your thought. The conversation doesn't stop. It just pauses naturally.
Tips for building your chunk library. First, listen to how native speakers connect words. Second, copy and repeat phrases you hear in movies, podcasts, and conversations. Third, practice saying your chunks out loud until they feel automatic.
I want you to do something right now. Think of one phrase you use all the time in your native language. Something like, I think so, or that's true. Now, find the English version. Write it in the comments and practice saying it 5 times out loud today.
Here's a mini practice with me. I'll say a situation and you respond with a chunk. Ready? Someone asks, do you agree? You say,
That's a good point. I think so too. See how easy that was? You didn't need to create a new sentence. You just used a ready-made chunk. Speak out loud. That's how chunks become automatic. So, to review, build your library of ready phrases. Practice them until they're automatic. And when you're stuck, use a filler chunk to buy yourself time. That's the secret of fluent speakers.
okay, now let's talk about common mistakes. And I want to be honest, these are mistakes that both of us made when we were learning, so don't feel bad at all.
The first common mistake is waiting until you know everything before you speak. A lot of learners say, I'll start speaking when my English is better. But here's the truth. Your English gets better because you speak, not before you speak. Incorrect thinking, I'll speak when I'm ready. Correct thinking, speaking is how I get ready.
And that's such an important point. Why is waiting until you're ready wrong? Because there's no finish line. There's no point where you'll suddenly feel 100% ready. Fluency comes from doing, not from waiting.
The second mistake is using silence when you could use a filler phrase. Incorrect. Someone asks you a question and you just go completely quiet. Correct? Let me think about that for a second. You're still in the conversation. You've just bought yourself some time.
The third mistake is apologizing too much for your English. Some learners say, sorry, my English is very bad before every sentence. And that makes the other person feel like they should be worried too.
Better alternative, just speak. If you make a mistake and someone doesn't understand, you can say, let me try again. Or what I mean is, that's confident and natural.
The fourth mistake is giving up in the middle of a sentence. You start saying something, you lose the word, and you just stop. But you can keep going. You can say, the big store for food, and people will understand.
Practice prompt. The next time you lose a word in English, don't stop. Describe it instead. Write in the comments one word you always forget and try to describe it in English without using that word. That's great speaking practice.
And please remember, every single person who speaks English fluently today made all of these mistakes. Every one of them. Mistakes are not signs of failure, they're signs that you're trying. And trying is how you improve. You're doing great just by watching and learning with us today. That already puts you ahead of people who are too afraid to even try. Keep going. All right, it's practice time. This is one of my favorite parts of the episode. We're going to do a choose the correct response activity. I'll give you a situation and two options, and you choose which one is better. Ready? Situation 1. Someone asks, what do you do for work? Option A, you go completely silent because you're searching for perfect words. Option B, you say, I work in the technology area, computers. Which is better?
Option B, obviously. Option B keeps the conversation going. Even with and a simple description, this other person understands you. Option A leaves an awkward silence that makes everyone uncomfortable. Situation 2, you don't understand something someone said. Option A, you smile and nod even though you have no idea what they said. Option B, you say, sorry, could you say that again more slowly? Which is better? Option B every time. Smiling and nodding when you don't understand creates bigger problems later. Asking for clarification is confident and smart, not a sign of weakness. Situation 3, you want to share your opinion, but you're nervous. Option A, you stay quiet and let the moment pass. Option B, you say, I think maybe it's a good idea. Which is better? Option B, even a hesitant opinion is better than no opinion. People appreciate when you share your thoughts, even if the grammar isn't perfect. And notice, you can use I think and maybe to sound softer and less certain. That's actually very natural English. Now here's your challenge. Create your own sentence using one of today's techniques. Use a chunk, use a description instead of a translation, or just say something imperfect and proud. Write it in the comments. Don't worry about getting it exactly right. Real conversation is about connection, not perfection. The more you practice speaking, even imperfectly, the more natural it will feel. Speak out loud, speak often, and speak with confidence. Wow, what a fantastic episode. I'm really proud of everything we covered today. You now understand 3 of the biggest reasons why English learners get stuck while speaking, and you have real tools to fix each one. Let's do a quick review. Number 1, you get stuck because you're translating in your head. The fix, describe using simple words instead of searching for perfect translations. Number 2, fear of mistakes is holding you back. The fix, embrace imperfection and remember that communication matters more than grammar. Number 3, you don't have enough ready language. The fix, build your chunk library and practice phrases until they're automatic.
The most important thing I want you to take away from today is this. Speaking English is a skill, and skills improve with practice, not with waiting, not with more studying alone, with actual speaking.
With actual speaking. So here's your reflective question for today. Think about the last time you got stuck while speaking English. Which of today's 3 reasons was it? Was it translating? Was it fear? Was it missing a ready phrase? Write your answer in the comments. We genuinely want to know.
And if this episode helped you, please give it a like. It really helps Simple English Talks reach more learners just like you. Share it with a friend who's learning English and subscribe to Simple English Talks if you haven't already so you never miss an episode.
We are so grateful for every single one of you who spends time with us here on Simple English Talks. Learning a language is one of the bravest things a person can do. Every time you try, even when it's hard, even when you make mistakes, you are growing.
So keep speaking, keep trying, keep showing up. We believe in you completely.
Thank you so much for being here today. We'll see you in the next episode. See you next time.